Here we go, and we're recording. Good morning, everybody. So many beautiful faces on the call today. I'm just like taking it all in. I don't know about you all, but like I appreciate community more than ever. Like seeing you guys fills my cup. And I just truly believe that like we have won the lottery of life because we are in this community. Like we are all winning so much. So thank you for joining. Today's topic is all on social media, which is really funny because if you've been here for a minute, you know that I built this business belly to belly, face to face. I was not a social media queen by any stretch of the imagination. And then 2020 happened. But I think it just goes to show that, like, if we have the attitude of pivot, not panic, we can still have success even in a pandemic, you guys. So there's that. In this 2020, I don't know about you guys, but it has shown me that like we are in the best business ever because we got to keep growing. We got to keep sharing. We still get to see each other. Although it's this way, like we still have this community. People want our products more than ever. They want opportunity more than ever. So like if that doesn't show you you're in the right place this year, then I don't know what will. But yeah, I wanted to share some tips with you that I have learned. And I feel like if I can learn these things, anybody can, because I was never consistent on social media. I remember sitting with Miranda in Vegas and I was like, help me, Miranda, because I do not understand how any of this stuff works. Like Instagram, forget about it. That was like a whole different language to me. But you guys, it is figure outable. And I am here to say if I can do it, you guys can too. So that is my first note. Oh my gosh, I did not even plan that. Everything is figure outable. That is my first note for you guys. And I think it's the most important skill you can have in this entire world, whether it is for business or relationships or anything like that. Everything is figure outable. There are so many times where I'll hear people say, like, I just don't know how to do that, or I'm stuck in this place. I'm like, have you gone and like found the resources to learn that skill? And they haven't even looked. I'm like, everything is online for us to learn for free. Everything. Like, be resourceful, especially in this time. So, how did I learn how to like make reels? We're going to talk about that today on the call. How did I learn how to like get better engagement? Y'all, I went to YouTube and I watched 2-minute, 3-minute videos and I figured it out. I went and I found people who had like super huge followings and who aligned with my values. And I was like, what are they doing? And what can I learn from them? And it's not that you're like copycatting people, but you're taking inspiration from those who are doing it the best. Okay. So that is honestly like the best skill that you can have is go, I'm resourceful and I can figure anything out. It is honestly like that will change your life when you have that mentality. And if you haven't read Everything is Figure Outable yet by Marie Forleo, y'all need to go get that book right after this call because that book will change your life. It'll change your mindset. It'll make you feel empowered, like to know that you can figure anything out. Okay. So yes, whatever skill you are lacking, you can learn it. How beautiful is that? When I got started with Young Living, you guys, I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I didn't know anything about essential oils. I was terrified to speak in front of people, and look at me now. So like everything is absolutely figure outable. So when it comes to social media, the first place I would start if you're really wanting to like crush this, and if you hear anybody else repeat the same advice on this call, it just means you really need to hear it, okay? So you may hear the same thing once or twice, but that means that's how important it is. So the first place I would start is like, what is your message? What are you wanting to bring to the world? Like, what kind of message do you want? And then stay within that message. If you're like chaotic and you're all over the place, people are not going to have that trust with you if you don't have that like message. And so for me, just like as an example, your message does not need to be anything like mine. This is just an example. So I'm a mom. I like funny. I love fun. If you don't know me yet, you're going to know. I love fun. I'm very heart inspired. So like, how can we move from like the ego back into the heart, right? Like very connected business inspiration, health, nature. So a lot of my stuff you're going to see like mom stuff, nature stuff, business stuff, funny stuff. I stay within those 5 things. I don't stray from that. And that to me, it just makes it so much easier when I have that guideline for myself because I'm not going, what should I post? What do I do? It's like, oh, something that aligns with these 5 things that I'm staying within. So it's actually easier to have that. It's not putting you in a box. Like there's a lot you can play with within those 5 things, but it's just keeping your content clean and clear and people know exactly what they're going to get when they follow you because they want to follow you for a reason. And if you're all over the place, they're like, okay, unfollow. Okay. Does that make sense? Is everyone getting what I'm laying down here? Okay. So write down, what is my message? That is like a good place to start. Stay within that, build trust, find people who inspire you and follow them. Okay. Get inspiration. So we kind of touched on this, but I just wanted to share with you some people that I follow. Again, if you like go follow them and then you're like, oh, Gloria, no, these people are not my jam. That's okay. My jam doesn't have to be your jam, but this is just like a place to give you kind of an idea. So I love following Soul Fox Living. So write that name down. She gives so many tips on how to be an awesome entrepreneur on social media and like easy things to follow, you guys. Like I have learned so much from her. So give her a follow. Janae.Rose. So that is spelled Jenay period Rose. This girl has like 100,000 followers and she follows nobody. It's so funny. I'm like, how did you even do that? But she gives such value that is why people follow her, because she's constantly delivering things where you're like, I never thought of it like that. But she makes it so simple and clear. And yeah, that's a good one to follow. I also love following this girl. She's a little more like off the wall and super fun. But her name, it's under Jack period attacks period life. So she works for a totally different network marketing company. I think it's like some kind of makeup brand or something, but it doesn't even matter that she's with a different company because she's freaking hilarious. And she teaches us so much about how to show up like authentically and like how to show up for the people that you want to speak to. So that is my next piece of advice. Who do you want to speak to? Who are the people that you want to attract to you? Who are the people that you want on your team? Who are the people you want following you? Because I can tell you for a long time, what held me back on social media was I was thinking about the people, what the people would think that were kind of like my haters or like the family members that made fun of what I was doing, right? Like we all have those people that are like judgy, but they're following you anyway. And you're like, why are you even here? But they do. I don't know why, but they do. So are we trying to like get them on our team? No. So why am I posting to appease these people? I don't even want them on my team, right? So like post to the people that you want to speak to. So before I was like really afraid of posting like super inspirational or super deep things because I know they're rolling their eyes at me, but I was like, but I want to attract people that want to change the world. So that's the people I'm going to speak to. Okay. Does that make sense? Don't let those haters hold you down. They are not the ones that you're speaking to anyway, ever. Okay. And they'll just keep watching you for some reason. Just be flattered. I don't know why they do it. It's a funny thing. Okay. So be social on social media. They want you to be social and they reward you for being social. So when people like comment on a picture of yours, comment back to them, okay? Don't just like let people comment and then leave them hanging. That's not being very social and you won't be rewarded for that. You're going to kind of get left behind because Instagram and Facebook reward you for being social, basically. They put you more at the front, okay? So you're going to get way higher engagement. What you can do for this, if you're like, I don't have time to like interact with everybody that's interacting with me. First of all, good problems. If you have that many people interacting with you, you should be very, very grateful. Also, set aside like, sometime in the evening where you just go and you like pour a glass of wine or you pour a cup of tea and you have like a movie on, you're watching your Hallmark or whatever, and you just go and like message people back and you make it that like a time to do that if you want. If you're overwhelmed at the thought of like keeping up with people all day, you don't have to keep up with them all day, but just make sure there is a point where you get back to them. And I always love to speak to people's colors. I don't know if you've done the color personality quiz. I personally don't believe like that we ever fit inside a box of a color personality quiz. Like we definitely branch out into all different areas. I don't want that to put you in a box, but it is a great way to learn how to communicate with people. When you see them responding like a very yellow response, so like a very caring, loving response, you're going to respond kind of back the same. If they send you emojis, I send emojis. If they send like a long paragraph, I send a long paragraph. I'm matching their energy and they're like, oh, you're like me. I trust you and you're like me. And now I want to keep following you. And now I'm kind of a fan, right? People like, they love that connection. Like you're like me. So respond to them the way they respond to you. Okay. So yes, be social on social media. Create before you consume. Write that down. Seriously, if I wake up in the morning and I like start responding to people and I get into like that mode of just like reactive mode in my business, like I'm like messaging back with people, I could do that all day long and then I've created nothing and I've done nothing like for my business over here, right? Like we can get into such reactive mode. So before you start messaging back with people and like getting into that trap, have you created something? Maybe it's an oily post, maybe it's a post about your family, right? Maybe it's the advent calendar, like create before you start to consume. Because if we're just like in that consumption, we're not really getting anywhere. Okay. So we need to like make sure we're putting out before we like just taking in. And don't start your day by like taking in other people's stuff. That's just not good for you anyway. You want to like think about like, I call it putting on your spiritual armor before you go into the battlefield that is social media. So like, have you put on your patience? Have you put on your love? Have you put on your kindness before you like jump into like serving? Okay. Put on your spiritual armor. Add value to people. Are you adding value? Are you just complaining? Do people want to follow you? What kind of value can you add? And Lauren's going to touch a little bit more on not being like a spammy Pammy. So I don't have to touch too much on that. I'm sorry if your name is Pam. I didn't mean anything by it. All right. Here is one that I didn't know, but it is like changing the game for me on social media. And maybe you guys already all know this. Like I said, I'm new here. Hi there. So this one is speak to one person on your stories. Do not speak to multiple people. So if you're making a story and you're like, hey guys, what are you all doing? Like, I just love that I'm here with you all. Like, and it's a very hard habit to break. I probably still have things that are up that say things like that. I apologize, but you learn as you go, right? It's not about starting perfect. We're never going to start perfect. So you're going to learn, but talk to one person, because then your audience feels like you're connecting directly to them. It doesn't feel like just a wide, like I'm just speaking to whoever today. It's like, I'm speaking to you. Okay. Like you're my best friend and you're watching this and this message is just for you. It makes people feel very special. Okay. So speak to one person. So I just don't say you guys anymore. I just start talking like I'm talking to a friend. Okay. So that is something that I learned and has had huge, huge value. And I get way more people responding back to me now in my inbox because they feel like that connection, right? So very, very intentional connection here. Again, being social on social media. When I heard that, I was like, oh, duh. Again, guys, if I can learn this, anybody can. There is a system. Reels. Okay, I got to show you guys something really quickly. We're going to see how this works. Are we ready? I'm going to show you a reel that is ridiculous. Like literally I made it in 10 minutes and it had 1,000 views in under 15 minutes. Okay. And I got like 8 followers from it in 20 minutes. So reels are the cat's meow. Okay. Because it doesn't matter if you have 0 followers or if you have 100,000 followers, a reel gets put in front of everybody no matter what. Okay. Whereas other things, you got to work really, really hard for it. This is like Instagram's new baby, and social media, whether it's Facebook or Instagram, they reward you for using their newest feature every single time. You're going to get way more engagement from using whatever new feature. So like the care emoji on Facebook, that's the new thing. So if you use that, it's going to get you more engagement with those people. It's going to get you to the front of the page. Reels is the same. It's the new thing. So again, I watched videos on YouTube to learn how to do this. Anybody can learn how to do this. It's not hard. The first couple times I made Reels, I cried because I was like, this is so hard. I can't do it. But now it's easy. I should have recorded myself making my first few ones so you could see that it was not natural by any stretch of the imagination. Okay, I'm going to share a screen with y'all. Here we go. And I hope this works. Can everybody see this okay? Yeah, okay. So this is my Instagram. Dun, dun, dun. And here are my reels. And I'm just going to play this one. Look how many hits this one has had. 2,704. And it's like ridiculous. Okay, see if this will play.
It's when you buy something for your business and the government pays you back for it.
Oh, and who pays for it?
Nobody. You write it off.
Who writes it off?
I don't know. The write-off people. What? It's when you buy something.
Oh, it's just going to keep playing. Okay, so look at all the hits that had, right? And I'm literally using somebody else's voice. Like, how easy is that? So when you're making a reel, this was the only thing I couldn't find. So I just want to share this one tip with you because I know you guys can find the rest of the answers. But the only thing I couldn't find was how to use somebody else's like voice sound, like sound bites. Is that the right word? I don't know. Anyways, there is no other way around it. When you see someone that has a reel like that, like the one I just did, you just click on the audio that's playing at the bottom. There's like audio, you click on that, it will take you to another screen and there's a button that says use this audio. So that's how you do the voiceover, like the Grinch and like the one you just saw. That was the only thing I couldn't find on YouTube. So that is how you do it. So for me, I can't just make them every time I find like a really fun one. Like I don't have time to always just make them. So I'll just screenshot the accounts that have the fun ones. And then when I am ready to make a reel, I'll just go back and like go to their account, use audio and make it at that time. But reels, like so ridiculous. It took 15 seconds and we got all of those followers and all of those views of people seeing me with my Young Living, right? Yeah, baby. So your homework is make a reel and you're probably not going to be great the first time you do it. I wasn't, but it's okay. It gets better, you guys. And maybe you're going to be like a unicorn and just rock your first one. And good for you if that is you. Okay, we're almost through these notes here, guys. So the next one is hashtags. This is something I did not know. Hashtags, you don't want to use the super popular hashtags. So when they have like 1 million people that have shared that, I used to think, oh, I'm going to pick the one with the highest amount of people that have it because obviously it's so popular that I'm going to be seen. It's the opposite. You're like a fish in the sea of 1 million people. What are the chances they're going to see you? They're not. So you want to pick the ones that have like 1,000, under 1,000, because then you're going to get put to the front of the pages. Okay. So like use, oh, you can also save the audio. See, we're learning together. You can also save the audio bites from Reels. I saved it and then I couldn't find it, but that's me. Austin, we're going to have a chat after this. So yeah, for hashtags are what are going to get you seen to people that are not your followers. Use as many hashtags as you can. It's 30 and hashtags are back. They were actually like muted for a while during the election. Super weird, but they're back. Yay. So use the hashtags, you guys. It's a thing. And that brings me to your stories are actually only shown to people that are not your followers if you use hashtags or the little stickers that they give you. Okay. So yeah, I know, right? Christine's like, what? I learned this and I was like, pfft. So what you can do is you can put 30 hashtags on your story and then shrink them down. Nobody has to see them, but they're there. And now you're engaging a much wider audience. Okay. Right? Winning. Have polls in your stories. Ask people questions. Get them engaging. We want people engaging in our stuff. Okay. So like ask them silly questions and they will answer them. And then social media, Instagram is like, oh yeah, this person's getting a lot of people. Like, let's put her to the front of the room. She knows what she's doing or what he's doing. Okay. even if you don't. Just simple tips that makes it seem like you do. So the other thing was create fans, not followers. Okay, we don't really want followers. We want people that are like showing up and they're excited to see your content. Like my biggest thing right now is I just want to be a lighthouse. I don't want to share negativity. I want a place where people can come and they know that they're either going to laugh or learn something or feel inspired. They're not going to leave going, oh, I feel yucky reading that. I didn't need to see that. Like I want to be an escape for people. Okay. So that's like my mission right now is just to stand up and be a lighthouse. I hope that you all can do the same. That is like my hope for the world because we can't do it alone. We need lots of lighthouses, right? Beautiful. Have fun. Have fun with it. Do not take yourself so seriously. If you wait to be perfect, you're not going to do it. Okay. Just post it. Just do it. Have fun. Be creative. Also, just like anything in life, consistency wins the day. Consistency builds momentum. It doesn't matter if it's health, fitness, young living, anything in life comes down to consistent little actions every single day. It's a game of inches. It's not like 12-hour days on social media every day. It's like an hour into your business and social media a day can build massive momentum. Okay. It's the starting and stopping and starting and stopping and starting and stopping. That's going to just never get you off the ground. Okay. It's like an airplane trying to take off. It's in every single area. Momentum and consistency builds momentum every time. So that's like, make sure you write that down if you did not know. Save to your highlights. Okay. When people come to my page, they know where to look for opportunity. They know where to see the starter kit. They know like where to find my reels. They can see all of that. So like if you share a message that is of value, save it to your highlight. If you do a class that you're like, I rocked that class, save it to your highlight so that people can watch it coming to your page. And oh, that was the last note I had. Did everybody learn something? Did you learn one or two things? Good. Yay, you guys. The thing is social media, just like Young Living, there's a system, right? And once you understand it and you get in that flow, it starts to become not only way more fun, but way more successful. When I started to really figure out social media, I had like 500 followers and now we're at like 950, which is still not that high, but I'm really proud of that because we built it from scratch. I did not pay for anyone to like anything. Like that is all built from scratch. And we've had 100 in the last 30 days. So the more that I like learn, the quicker it's building. So I'm going to keep going back and keep learning. I'm not done learning yet by any stretch of the imagination, but it does get easier and easier as you go. And again, just have so much fun. Okay. Mwah. Up next, we have Miranda Brown, who is the girl that we were in Vegas and I was like, Miranda, I see that you are rocking your social media. Please teach me everything you know. She's amazing. So grateful for her. Hi, Miranda.
Hey guys, good morning. So I'm going to piggyback a little bit off of the stuff Glow has shared because it really is all the same stuff, but sometimes we hear it a little bit different coming from a different angle. So the biggest thing, and I hear this a lot lately because we've had to shift so hard into online classes, and like Glow did all her building face-to-face with people. So it's been a big jump for people. But until you believe you can do this, you're not going to do it. Like you really have to pour the belief in yourself that you have something valuable to offer and you have to show up on your screen like that. It can be easier in your head to do that in person because you're face-to-face, but you have to show up with that same energy online or people aren't going to believe you. So you really have to believe in yourself. And that's the first step in becoming a leader is that confidence. So you need to get a pen and paper because I've got some new stuff that's super exciting that I just learned and started implementing this week. So it's brand new to me. I'm not an expert, just learning it. So the first thing is we'll go back to reels. I have tried a reel. I have cried as well. I have begged my teenagers, begged. They are mean. They will not teach me. So I have tried and tried and tried. Like, seriously, it's been ridiculous over here. So I have learned that there is an app. There is a reposting app. So my teenagers that spend all their time making reels, I'm just going to steal them. So there's an app. You just go into your app store. It's called Repost. Use the one that has the most reviews. That's the one that I'm using. It is it is a purple and white arrowy icon thing. So what this allows you to do is it allows you to take other people's content. And this is totally a legit new thing that you are allowed to do. So I now steal my daughter's that is 17 and she makes the cutest little reels. And guess what? I get all her engagement. It is brilliant. So there is tips and tricks. Like I haven't figured it out yet. So I'm just going to use stuff that's available. There's another thing. If you don't have a creative teenager in your home that you can steal their content, you can hashtag and look up things that you are part of your page, like things like, for me, it's homeschooling and medical mothering and large family. Those are the things I tend to share on. So I will look up those hashtags. So I looked up one, medical mama, and you click top post. So when you hashtag, you look in those reels, you want the top post for reels. So Gloria said for hashtags, when you're going to add hashtags, you want the lower one for in a post, but for a reel, you want the top one because that is the one that's getting all the attention. So then you're going to slip that into your repost app and put it onto your page. So you're taking their followers and then you start engaging. It's been mind-blowing, a mind-blowing week doing this. So if you need any help with this, I am more than happy to help you. Just send me a message. It does take some playing but the repost app is super easy. It'll actually really blow your mind and you'll feel like a rock star because yeah. Another thing that I've been implementing this week, just starting, because kind of like what we were doing last year is shifts this year. I'm sure you've heard that. John Maxwell talks about that a lot, that things are always revolving, right? Like we have to keep up with what is changing because things move so fast now. So if you write this down, 5 times 5 times 5. So every day you're going to look up 5 things that interest you in hashtags and follow them. And this crosses over to Facebook as well, whatever social media platform you're using, not just Instagram. 5 groups. And every day find 5 things to post on. And you need to comment more than 5 words. Because when you just comment with emoji or like, oh, that's so awesome, it's actually not helping. Or you're actually flipping like the switch of Instagram where your stuff is going to start to show up on their stuff. Does that make sense? So this just keeps you active because you can actually get really stuck in a trap really easy of creating content and not engaging anything. So that just holds you accountable to engaging other people's content so that they automatically start to see your stuff. Okay, write this down. The word PRAM, P-R-A-M. So this stands for, this is what you're going to do. You're going to post, reply, message. Oh, sorry, add people, A, I forgot A, and message them. So this just is a good system to have while you're online because our attention span can be so easily distracted. I'm sure you've opened up apps and go to do something and then you're over here, then you're over here and you're like, what was I going to do again? So having this right in front of you keeps you accountable because I don't know, I need all the accountability on my screen because I get distracted so easy. The next thing you're going to write down is Lord, L-O-R-D. And this is what you're going to talk about in these messages with people. So you're going to ask about their location. Don't ask about their kids because that can get really creepy really fast if you're a stranger. Actually, I would suggest not choosing those posts to comment on first. Find other things until you've built somewhat with them. The O stands for occupation. And the R stands for recreation, things they like to do. And then the D stands for dreams. So that just gives you direction while you're messaging, because it can be hard sometimes to think of what to say to a complete stranger. So that just kind of gets the ball rolling. Oh, L is location. Just trying to think. The other thing that I heard this past week was to not worry so much about making your grid look super pretty, to kind of free yourself from that. Because what is happening, they've noticed with the new algorithms that are continually changing, is when they're, I wonder if you guys can see this. When you open up the app and you click a post on someone's content, can you guys see that? No, it's a little bit bright. But when you click a post and then you can kind of scroll through their feed this way, if their feed is super manicured and looks very, you know, all the exact same filter, all the exact same, really, really similar, people tend to keep scrolling because it's not drawing their attention because they don't know what's new anymore. So it was suggested recently that you free yourself from that really picture perfect grid, because if something all of a sudden stands out, they're going to stop and slow down and read it. And that was kind of huge for me because I was working super hard to make it all look like all these people that had large followings, because that's what looked successful. But things continually change on social media. So this is the new thing. You want to stand out really quickly so people stop. So adding a reel into your grid is huge, and adding one that isn't yours makes people stop even. I think Lo said most of it, like giving out valuable content. You're going to attract what you put out there, so you want to be very conscious of that. But yeah, I think the biggest light bulb moment for me was that we can use other people's content and attract more people to us. So if you're going to do that, what I have found this week is putting it into your grid. That's your post, not your stories. And then your stories is all about you. So you're directing people from your grid to watch your stories. And yeah, it's actually been huge. Typically on my stories, I have about 280 to 300 followers on my stories, and it's went as high as 500 this week by sharing other people's content. So that was ginormous to me. I was like, wow, okay, that really makes a difference. And also hashtag in your stories. Massive difference. And I think that is about all I got. I hope that was helpful. If you guys have any questions, you can message me or put them in the group.
Oh my gosh, that was so good. I took all the notes. That is amazing. Thank you so much. I'm like, oh my gosh, that makes so much sense to have like that system to follow. So thank you. So good. Break free from the perfect grid was like mind blowing, but it makes so much sense. Don't you guys think it makes sense? It makes so much sense. And like, what a relief. We don't have to be perfect, you guys. I also just wanted to touch on something Miranda said there really, really quick. Something that I also learned recently is when you share like somebody who's really, really popular that like you fangirl over or fan guy over, like tag them when you share their content, because typically they are going to repost with your social media handle in front of all of their followers, and you will get followers that way as well. So like when you share something, don't be afraid to tag someone that you're like intimidated by because you're like, oh my gosh, they have so many followers. No, you want that, because then they're going to reshare, and then you're like scooping, like Miranda said, I love that. Scoop on their engagement. Like, oh, I'm going to start doing that too. I wrote that down. I'm going to get that app as soon as we get off of here. that repost. So beautiful. I was also just reading through some of the comments and I saw Tamara's comment, can you post the people you were talking about on social media that you follow? I will put that in the event. And then if anyone like wants us to start following you or you want to start following us, like let's get an Instagram train going here. Let's get engagement going here. What do you guys think? Okay, so I'll make a post in the event and we can all share our social media handles and then we can all follow each other, okay? And make sure you comment on other people's stuff and then they'll comment on your stuff. And that's gonna like get us, like Miranda said, not just 1 or 2 words, like more than 4, because those are Instagram rules, not 5, 6. Those are Instagram rules, okay, not ours. So let's do it. Okay, I love it. Up next, we have Lauren Lewis. I'm absolutely so inspired by her as well. Like, I just love watching her stories. It always like makes my heart feel happy. It makes me want more animals. So there's that. My husband's probably like, stop watching her stories.
Yeah, sorry about that. Hi. Thanks so much for having me. I'm going to repeat a lot of what Miranda and Glow said, so you obviously need to hear this message. I'm going to be talking about being authentically you, no spammy Pammy. Sorry if anyone's named Pam. So social media, we can often get stuck in that scroll hole, that comparison trap, which is no good. If you do find yourself doing this, like Glow said, find people who inspire you to be a better version of yourself, not people you're comparing yourself to. So if you have to unfollow, do that. But there's honestly lots of ways of being successful. You've heard a ton of tips. I've taken a ton of notes. I hope you have too. This is just what's worked for me, and I've noticed it from other accounts that inspire me. So I don't just post business. Some people do have strictly business pages, but I've kind of meshed all my values together. Because I want to be able to connect with a larger audience when they come to my page. So I've intertwined the Young Living though into all those areas that I'm sharing. So my page, this doesn't have to be your page, but my page is about health, kids, animals, nature, music, and personal development. That's basically what is in it. I post often enough though that people know I am Young Living and they can come to me for Young Living. If you aren't posting that enough about Young Living, then they don't really know that they can come to you for that. So make sure you are still posting about Young Living. I am not spammy though, because I want people to think I have other interests. People love to watch you and they love to see your face. So showing your face on your social media, talking about, well, I want to be the lighthouse as well. Like Glow said, there's so many accounts you can go find that are negative. So I don't want to be that for somebody. I want them to be able to come and hear a positive message or see a chicken or something that's going to make them laugh. I lost my notes. I started talking about something else. I don't only post Young Living promos in my story, random things. Yeah, I want to make people laugh. I do polls as well because I want to engage with my followers. I want to get to know them. So be authentically curious about the fans, not followers, that are following you. Okay, I use that word anyways. But asking questions in your polls. I did some kind of personal questions last week and I had so much engagement with that. And I got to have so many genuine conversations with people about a pretty personal subject. So don't be afraid to ask questions because people love to talk about themselves. And the whole point, like Glow and Miranda have said, is about being social with people on social media, not just posting about yourself because people love to talk about themselves. So make sure you're interacting. I actually noticed Miranda and I had a conversation that I noticed I started to become unhealthy with my posts. So I had to reevaluate my priorities because I wasn't always giving value. I started to think in Instagram stories. I was posting so much that it wasn't really giving value. It was like a picture of my meal or so you don't always have to do that. So if you find yourself not actually giving value, you're just posting for the sake of posting, then take some time to sit down, think about what you actually want to give to people because you also need to be present in your life. So don't forget to enjoy your moments, be way more present and way more intentional with what you're posting. So what I do now is I take about 5 to 10 minutes a day either it's the night before or in the morning if I feel some inspiration, and I'll think about what I'm going to post for that day. So if I know I'm going to do something that I do want to share with my followers, then, or my audience, then I'll make sure I post about that, or I'll have stuff set up to post in the evening when I've blocked some time for my social media so that I can be fully present in whatever I'm doing throughout the day. Create content before you consume. And then I also have my 15-minute blitz with which some of you might have heard, but that's when I'm really connecting with my audience. I'm being authentically curious about others. I'm engaging in their stories, commenting on their posts, or searching hashtags. So these are your action steps. Lo's already talked about this too, but write down what your values are, what your interests and passions are, and what you want to share with others, and who are the type of people that you want to attract. So who are you going to be attracting to your page? And then take 5 minutes after this call, if you want, to plan what your stories are going to be for today so that you're way more intentional with it. And that's pretty much all I have. Thanks for having me, Go.
I love that so much. No, that is like such valuable content, because if we become where we're only posting Young Living, it's like people can buy Young Living from anyone. They can buy it anywhere, anytime. They don't even need somebody to buy it under. They can just go and get their own account and not put in anybody, right? Why do they want to join you? And not just because of how much you share Young Living. They want to know, like, do you share the same values? Are you a good human? Like, are you, like, do you relate? So showing your life and showing who you are is just as valuable, right? So that is so, so important, because sometimes we can get like too Young Living-y. As much as like I want to post about it all the time because I use Young Living every day, all day, I could post about it all the time. I'm like, people will unfollow me if I do that though, right? So such good. I hope you guys are writing all of this stuff down, because like there has been so many nuggets on this call, like loving it. This call was a need, I think, for me too. I have like a whole page here. Okay, up next we have Christine Nielsen, and she is going to share with us today. I am pumped. Get your notebooks ready once again, you guys, because this girl like enrolls like a boss on social media, and I need to know all your secrets. Rockstar. Hello, Christine. Thanks for joining us today.
Hello. Thanks for having me. I'm so excited. So I had no clue what I was doing when I started with Instagram. I was posting pictures about like colorings and stuff I was drawing. And I would follow people that inspired me and kind of go. I've noticed that the content on my page and the way I've set my page up has changed like hugely, which is okay, because every single day we're growing, we're changing, and I'm not the same person I was a week ago, let alone yesterday or a year ago. So the things that I'm posting about are different. Out of my 6 posts that I do, I try to have 1 Young Living and the rest about photos of me, things that I'm doing in my life, quotes. I want to help inspire other girls to be okay with themselves, to step out of their comfort zone and to walk to the beat of their own drum, because I've personally found a lot of women right now are playing small, and I really want to help them get out from underneath of that and just embrace who they are, because we are powerful and we need to accept who we are and be okay with it. And I'm really excited to help women do that, and it's just really empowering. I've only done 3 reels. The first one I did was a tribute to my late horse Gotcha, and I was blown away by how many views it got. Glow had posted the number of posts or like views it gets, I think it was like 20 was a classroom, and then an auditorium, and then, bigger and bigger. And I was like, whoa, I was like, that had like over 500 views. I was like, that's 500 people. That's like a football stadium. I was like, whoa. And then my next one, this was a ridiculous video. This was my first time doing single rein riding with my horse. I mean, I whacked her in the face with a rope, guys. It was not mean. I'm not hurting her, but like, trying to figure out how to do the single rein riding, I nearly knocked myself off my own horse. And it's had almost 700 views. And I was like, what? People like this? I was like, oh, okay. And a little light went off. So every time I'm up at the barn now, I bring my little selfie stick and I'm trying to take videos of us because people love it. I was blown away by how much people like these little silly things, and it blew my mind. So I spend about 30 minutes a day loving on people. And I'll do 2, maybe 15-minute chunks or 5-minute chunks, wherever I can find the time in the day. I am commenting on people's posts. And like Glo and Miranda said, and Lauren, it's not just a one-word comment, guys. It is at least 5 words. I'm engaging with them. And if they comment back, I'm commenting back on them too. I want them to know that I'm here and I'm following them and that I genuinely care about what they're posting. My next biggest thing that kind of blew my mind was the hashtags. Like Glo said earlier, I thought the bigger the number, the more likely I'd be seen. And I was wrong. So the smaller the number, guys, on your hashtags, use those ones. Find hashtags that resonate with you. I don't have kids, so I put horse mom. And I, I follow other horse moms and I comment and be like, oh my gosh, your horse is so cute. 90% of my followers probably are horse crazy people just like me, which is totally acceptable. So finding your niche and finding those people that you connect with is super, super important. And when someone follows me, I personally go onto their page. I like at least 5 of their posts. I comment on 2 and I message them. I personally message them. I direct the conversation to something that has something to do with their page. If they're horse related like me, I'll message and be like, oh my gosh, your horse is like the cutest thing ever. What is their name? And make that genuine connection, because we don't want to be a Pammy Scammy or Pammy Sammy. Sorry, guys, it's brain farting here. But that person, you don't want to get that message. You're like, hey, do you need to lose weight? Because I cannot tell you how many times I've gotten those messages and I'm like, you think I'm fat? Is that what you think here? I'm like, thanks, delete. Just don't do that. If you're gonna message someone and like message them and invite them to do something with you or like talk to you, be genuine. I mean, take an interest in their life. Like, if you think that this person, if they're a mom, for example, I mean, yes, probably don't comment on don't be like creepy about commenting on their kids' pages. But I did see this really funny like YouTube video about this comedian. I can't remember what her name was, but she was saying how there was like this cute baby, chubby baby leg, and it's acceptable for women to go and like touch the baby leg and be like, oh my gosh, they're so cute. But for a guy to do it, it might be a little bit weirder. So I'm sorry if there's guys on here. It was really funny. I wish I had the video to show you guys. It was so good. But just being genuine, being who you are. And I mean, don't be afraid to talk about subjects that are personal. Like I've been dealing with anxiety. So I've been posting on there and being like, hey guys, like, yeah, I've been a little distance. I haven't been doing things, but I'm okay. And if you guys are struggling, don't be afraid to reach out. And letting people know that it is okay to feel not okay. That's something that I'm really focused on with my followers. Like, I want them to know that it is okay to take breaks. It is okay to look after themselves. And it is not selfish to walk away from toxic people. Like, I want my followers to understand that. So I'm working really hard on connecting with people that have the same type of interests. And being genuine when you guys are talking to someone. I mean, I cannot stress this enough. That is how I connect with people. I would like to say that I'm pretty good with talking to people. I can make friends in grocery stores, and I tend to do that quite often. And switching to social media was a whole new thing. It was scary at first because I can't see the people. I can't see their body language. I don't know if they think that I'm a creep because I'm talking to them about peanut butter. But hey, if they think you're weird because you're talking about peanut butter, they're not your people, and that is okay. It is acceptable. Just remember that not everyone is going to connect with you, and that is okay. And some people are going to think you're nuts, and that's okay. It is okay to be nuts, guys. I promise you, it is okay. Just remember that those aren't your people, and your people will come. The people that are meant to follow you, the people that you are meant to connect with will come. So that's all I have for you guys. Thank you so much for getting me to talk today, Glo. This is such an amazing call.
Thank you. I love that. And I love hearing your perspective, because the rest of us that just spoke, like, we're moms. So we talked about like how we share on the mom front, but for those who aren't moms, like just being authentic and like sharing who you are, and you're going to find your people. There are like billions of people out there. That's the beautiful thing, is we get to show up authentically us, and that's going to speak to the people we truly want to speak to, right? And when we're like putting on a mask and trying to be like somebody we're not going to attract the people that we truly want to connect with. And it's just like, and I loved how Miranda said this before, like, it can seem so different when it's online than belly to belly, but it truly is showing up the same. It's like, who do you want to have conversations with? Who do you want to spend your time with, right? Like it is the same, just with a screen. So showing up just like you would belly to belly, and showing up that way on social media. And then the other thing I wanted to say, just because I know that a lot of people have shared their concerns with me in 2020 with the lockdowns, like, well, now I can't have classes. Like, I guess I'll just wait until 2021 before I start picking it up again. And I'm like, oh my gosh, no, there's this thing called Zoom. We can still do classes, we can still connect. And more than ever, people are like craving face-to-face time, even if it's on technology. And if you're like, I've tried like to do classes and maybe people aren't coming, why not just get a hold of all your friends and just ask them to like pour a drink and come hang out? And just hang out and keep the relationships going. If that's where you need to start, just keep those relationships, keep that face-to-face as much as you can right now, so that you can walk into 2021 like feeling amazing and ready to conquer it. Okay, like let's end 2020 strong. So if you're one of those people listening and you're like, I haven't been doing the things, go book a class. Go book a class and go invite people and just let them know it's about how excited you are just to hang out. And I guarantee you, if you come from a space of like, I miss you and I just want to like see you, let's hang out and like have a class or have a drink, or there's like trivia games you can play online for those coming to the Christmas party you're going to see today. It is so fun. There are so many reasons we can get together with people right now, and people are home, y'all. So they can't tell you they're busy. They're home. So yeah, I just wanted to leave you guys with that. Have fun with it. Before we let you go, we have 7 minutes on the clock. Does anybody have a question, something that wasn't answered that you want to know, that you want to ask this panel today? We've got Auntie Lynn. She's not really my auntie, but I just call her that. I've adopted her as my auntie. Hi, Lynn.
Hi. So on Instagram, I notice you and many others have lots of little frames on your stories kind of thing, and I can't seem to get past 4 or 5. Like, how do you do that? Do you know what I mean?
Yes, and that is a very good question. So that was something that I remember I messaged Laurence for because I was like, am I doing something wrong when I first started? So you're not alone. That's a very good question. Unfortunately, you can't do more than 4. So you just record the 4, save them, and then record 4 more, and then save them. And then you go back and you can click select multiple frames. And then what I do is I just all 8, and then I edit them all, and then I post them all. So it's like a flow. If you feel like you're saving 12, for example, because you have so much to say, think maybe I should go live with this because I have so much to say, instead of like making a super duper long story, because then people will just beep, 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 like bump past it if it's too long. So that's just like a general idea. Don't be afraid to go live also, guys, because it bumps you to the very top of everybody's page. Like it just puts you right at the front. Don't be scared.
And is it easy to do a live?
Oh
Is
yeah.
it easy to do a live?
I find it so much easier to do a live because it's less editing, it's less work. And if I mess up, I'm live. So it is what it is. Where sometimes if you record things, it's like you're such like, right, we can be perfectionists and then we delete and delete and delete because it doesn't look right, it doesn't sound right. But if you're live, it's like, here I am. And when we fumble and we're not perfect, we're actually way more likable. People are like, I can relate to you because I'm also not perfect, because nobody is perfect, right? So lives are great.
Okay.
Go onto your stories. When you go to share a story, you'll see like a live, reels, or stories. So you can click it over to live, and then you can put a pretty filter on it if you want, which is another reason I really like Instagram. Thank you, Instagram. I see Tammy's like, those filters. Great question. Love it. Does anybody?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else have a question that they're like, I need help, and it wasn't? Catherine's hand is up. Okay.
Yeah, so that searching of reels, I don't know how to look for a reel. I only know how to scroll through them. How do you find what you want to find?
I'll let Miranda take that one. She was like, oh yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. I'm just going to open up my Instagram to make sure I'm giving you the correct information. So when you open up your app and you see the little magnifying glass, the little searchy button, I look up things like, what are you interested in? So let's look up cars. And then I looked up accounts. Oopsie. No, I'm giving you wrong information, actually. Hold on. I did it in hashtags, actually. That is what I did. So when you're looking up a hashtag where it says tags, and then it'll say top posts. Did you see that there? Look up any hashtag. And then you click on it. And then you can see where it says top or recent. So you're gonna click the top ones, and then you can see in here. So I did family. So I can see right here, I have a reel. And it's at the very top. Yeah. So through hashtags.
So awesome. I didn't know how to search that either, so that's good. Just 1 second, Andrea. I don't want to say your name wrong. Eloise, is that right? I saw your hand up. I'm gonna unmute you, and then you can tell me how to say your name properly. Oh, it's not working. Oh, there we go.
There we go. Okay, so it's Eloise.
Eloise, okay.
Yeah. Miranda and I recorded a live together on Facebook, and I can't access it or share it with people. So I don't know exactly, I'm not techie at all. So I don't know what happened there. So I'm just curious as to, like, I can see it on live, but I can't do anything else with it.
I believe, and I'm going to pass this off to any of the other panelists if they know, and I'm saying this wrong, but I believe you have to save it right after it's done being recorded. Otherwise, you can't share it.
So it is saved, but I don't know.
But when you do a live at the end, it's like save video into your phone. Did you save it into your phone?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Oh, can you share it from there then?
You know what? I'll have to play with that now.
Yeah, I think you have to share it from your phone. I don't believe you can share a live after it's like been posted. If you didn't save it, you have to share it from the saved in your phone. I know that was one that tripped me up too, and I'm still like,
you can save it to an IGTV and then share it on your story.
Oh yeah, on Instagram, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, all new. It's all new to me.
On Instagram, you save it to IGTV, and on Facebook, it's save it to your phone, I believe.
Oh,
so
okay.
IGTV is also like a super wonderful place where people can go and watch all of your videos that you've done. So that's a really great little feature too. Again, why I love Instagram. It's just way more user-friendly, personally.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. And then I saw Andrea's hand up, and if I've missed anyone else, I'm really sorry. Andrea, I'm gonna unmute you. Okay, there we go.
I've put it in the chat as well. I've tried. I don't know how to, somewhere when I set up Instagram, I set up an automatic reply. How do I get rid of that? Because I can't join any of the trains or nothing because it has the automatic reply.
I've noticed that on your Instagram, when I've written something to you, it's like automatically replies to me. I've noticed that, but I'm personally.
Does anybody know how to get rid of that?
I'm gonna guess it's in your settings, and your Instagram probably looks a little bit different than ours in Canada here.
It is in Canada though.
It is okay. yeah, I would just go into settings and start playing around, because I know that I have changed things and then had to go back and try and find them. But the best way to learn is just to go in there and start clicking on stuff. Yeah, I'm not sure how that happened, but
Because I don't know either. I tried to go and look on YouTube if I can find directions or whatever, but the stuff that I need to click in settings is not in mine. So
okay.
I'll have to go. If someone doesn't have has done it before, then I'm gonna have to go
Is
and play.
yours a private, public, or business account?
It's a business one. I
Okay,
think it's business.
maybe yeah, just go into your settings and play around with the different settings and see if you can find where it is. My best
Okay.
suggestion.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm just looking it up here.
Yeah, I've tried because I wanted to join Laura's train, and there's been a couple of others, but then I just get kicked off because of this automatic reply, and I just Jessie, you found it?
You have to hit share on Olivia. Is that a typo? Yeah, there.
So just I did find how to do it. If you just go into your Instagram right on your homepage, if you're doing it on your phone, on the top right, there's 3 lines.
Oh yeah.
Hit that. It should have your username, archive, insights, activity, blah, blah, blah. Right on the bottom, it says settings. If you hit that, you can go in there and notifications are in there. Your business, privacy, account, all of that, it's in there.
Perfect. Yay. Go Google. It's your birthday. Thank you, Jessie. That's awesome. Love it. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much. Especially a huge thank you to all of the speakers today. Like, so many notes. I'm so grateful for each and every single one of you for being brave and putting your faces out there. Love it. So your guys' homework. Let's see that Instagram reel. Also, I just want to say I went to make a post in the event about the people to follow, and for some reason it's not letting me because it is going against Facebook for the Jack Attacks Life. I can try it with the other 2, but it won't let me put Jack Attacks Life in there for some reason. So that is one account. If you want to follow, you're just going to have to search for yourself. I can't put it in there, but let's start an Instagram train. Let's follow each other. Let's like build that momentum. It's going to just like grow us so much and it's going to be awesome. Okay. Mwah. I'm going to go post that. You guys enjoy this beautiful Saturday. I will see some of you at the Christmas party. Anyone who wants to come, you have the link now to the Zoom. It's at 1 p.m. Wear your fanciest outfit or your ugliest Christmas outfit, whatever you choose. There's going to be prizes. Okay, we'll see you guys later. Thanks, guys. Bye.